Hey everybody, it's Sam from everyone's favorite production group, Just Three Productions. Basically, if you know me, that weird stuff, you know my millennial, Gen Z borderline humor, I'm a fan of this clip, everybody's favorite clip. So that comes from a movie called Dinosaur Adventure. If you're interested, please watch. I watched it, yes. I went to Spain this summer, and my highlight was watching Dinosaur Adventure, so good times. But it opened up a new world for me, and that was the world of Dingo Pictures. It's a German company, and they basically make knockoffs of whatever Disney movie is famous. I know, you know, it's big on YouTube.com. But anyway, so I started watching Dingo Pictures. Let's not lie and say that I don't watch Dingo Pictures on a Saturday. And there's one that I think I just might be an expert on, because my favorite Disney movie is The Aristocats. No one's going to be able to pull the wool over my eyes with a bad Aristocats ripoff. I mean, my cat's name was Berlioz. He's wearing a Jesus sticker. Look at that. What can I say? So, I like the Aristocats a lot, and when I saw that Dingo Pictures had done a ripoff of the Aristocats, well, I was hooked. So with no further ado, let's get into this. I know you're excited. I'm pretty excited. Let's do it. So first of all, here's the little animation you get. I guess it's probably supposed to be the scene where they sing "Everybody Wants to Be a Cat," but that scene does not exist in that movie, and none of these characters are in the movie. So just be prepared.
It was incredibly hot that day in town. Breathing was difficult for many people because the air was very stuffy. Fortunately, yesterday, the big holidays began, and everybody was able to do so, went to the country or to the beach. So did Mrs. McDonald.
Okay, so first off, it starts with this narration. And the original version, I think, starts with this too, but it shows you the streets of Paris, and it's like, oh, Paris, 1903, blah, blah, blah. But all this one shows you is just this, like, graphic of a street, and then the narrator is like, that's when the big holidays started. And you're like, okay, yeah, I think that happens in Europe. But then the lady's name is Mrs. McDonald. So Mrs. McDonald is our fun human main character, and she is a very nebulous nationality and time period. And she's driving a car like a Cadillac or something, but she's wearing this big 1800s hat.
Where are you? She called impatiently.
Like it's just very confusing, and this is never resolved. That's just not resolved.
Laureen, Lionel, Lucy, come on. If we don't leave now, we will get stuck in the worst traffic jam ever.
And there she goes.
Come on, Lucy. We always have to wait for you, Laureen said, who was Lucy's mother. I can't find my damned hairbrush.
Then she just says damn in like the first minute. And I don't know, it's edgy, I guess.
If you don't come now, I will go to Acapulco alone, they heard Mrs. McDonald calling. Well, Laureen sighed, but don't you think that you're getting out of being brushed. We are going to buy a new brush on the way.
Also, if you haven't noticed, the whole thing is just narrated. So, like, there aren't really voice actors. It's just one lady, like, she's reading a book at a school, and she kind of does different voices for the different characters, but, like, not really.
Bye-bye, Lucy, Lionel. Have a good time, the birds twittered.
Okay, she's definitely doing voices for the weird birds that have vibrating voices, like, bye, Lucy and Lionel.
We will have a lot of fun in Acapulco, Lucy shouted gladly to them.
And, like, the birds aren't even an actual main character in this movie. Mrs. McDonald's driving by a lot of peace and love graffiti.
Bye-bye, Mrs. McDonald, Rosa called.
This goat, Rosa, gets introduced by name like it's a significant character. So they get to Acapulco, but Lucy wants to go on an adventure and take a little walk.
Lucy has this thirst for adventure like her father, Lorraine said worriedly to Mrs. McDonald. He was a real vagabond, but very charming, she added, sighing.
I do kind of like that they bring up the father because that was sort of one of the unanswered questions of Aristocats was like, who was the original dad of these kids?
Yes, yes, men. Mrs. McDonald smiled, and the two giggled like schoolgirls as they went into the house.
Yes, yes, men. Mrs. McDonald just like simultaneously gossiping with her cat, but then also like kind of dismissive of the cat's problems with men. So basically there's a whole part here where they introduce the plot points, which number one is that there's a cat catcher, but the cat catcher only catches nice and responsible cats and well cared for domestic cats. So I guess this is the second plot point, is that Lucy's too much like her vagabond dad and she just wants to roam, and that means that she's not respectable, but also that the cat catcher is gonna get her.
Hi, Lionel, she whispered very quietly. I'll go out for just an hour.
I'd like to think that that dog is an homage to the actual dog in the Aristocats that's like a bloodhound or whatever that dog is, but I'm gonna doubt that that's accurate. Betty Bye Basket, that dog. So Lucy just keeps on adventuring. There's about 5 minutes of adventuring, which is just her walking around. And nothing really happens. It's just she almost gets caught once and then doesn't. But wait, she takes one more adventure.
Suddenly, she saw a little mouse, which was dancing in front of her teasingly.
Again, is he a reference to Roquefort? I remember his name. They probably just saw all the characters from the Aristocats and were like, sure, we'll put them in somewhere.
I'll get you, Lucy called and started. Ha ha ha! Lucy heard a deep mopping voice.
The cat catcher is wearing an ironic I love cats t-shirt.
Nice cat we have here. That's what I'd call a successful cat.
You may hiss as much as you want. You won't get away from me, the cat catcher laughed.
That's what I call a successful cat. Yeah, because he only catches the purest, most successful, most well cared for cats. That's his job.
Well done, Judy, he said to the mouse. At home is a nice piece of cheese waiting for you. That's your reward.
The mouse was in cahoots the whole time. So Lucy finally gets caught by the cat catcher. What a surprise. And while she's in there, in the pound, his palace, she meets the Thomas O'Malley character. And he wakes her up by flirting with her.
Hello, my beautiful miss. I never guessed to find such a charm inside these dreary halls.
So what I think happened here was that they saw the animation where Marie's, like, all proper, and she's like, I'm a lady.
Okay, it didn't work.
And they were like, that looks like a flirty cat to me.
Who are you? She asked and turned up her nose. You look like you haven't had a bath for a long time. Well, don't be so unkind, the Tops cat said, insulted.
The Tops cat? The Tops cat? And it's really kind of never resolved whether or not they're flirting. Because he's still drawn as an adult cat. Like, if you don't know the original story, he gets with the mom. I mean, the point is that he gets with the mom, but also we're clearly far removed at this point. It's this story about a cat catcher in Acapulco, which is, I don't know, maybe a little more exciting than the Disney movie where the villain is the butler.
The beautiful and well-behaved cats like you are sold expensively. One says, if you are lucky, you will get a nice family. But the cat catcher probably has other plans for you. You are not beautiful or well-behaved. The tomcat grinned. You are right. A mangy cat like me won't be sold to a nice family. No, I have to go into a laboratory for animal experiments.
So, shocker.
My goodness, Lucy said. Do you know what really happens in the laboratory for animal experiments? You will be killed. My brother Lionel, who is very educated, has got a book with a lot of pictures of these laboratories. The animals are teased until they die. Open, open, I want to get out of this place. It doesn't work like that, Lucy said. We have to find a better idea. By my way, my name is Lucy, and yours? My friends call me Charlie. The tomcat introduced himself. Sorry that I freaked out just now.
Sorry that I freaked out just now, you know, because what? So you can hear the voice in the background of the man doing the, I don't know, original German for the cat catcher, which actually makes you realize that the narration is the entire voice actor of the story is not how it's supposed to be at all, which, ooh, what a surprise. So Charlie and Lucy create a plan to escape the cat catcher. And what their plan is to have Lucy distract him by being dead or near death, because she is a great expensive cat who cannot be sick, or else she will not be sold to another rich family. And while she does this, the cat catcher comes in, and then Charlie, we know our name for fake Thomas O'Malley now, he comes at him and bites him in the butt, which I believe is actually a thing that happens with real Thomas O'Malley and the real Aristocats. So, points for that. They're really, sticking to the original script here. Basically, they make it out of the cat catcher's prison real fast. But Miss McDonald already gave up because she just said her holidays are ruined already.
Mrs. McDonald, Lorraine, and Lionel stood sadly in front of the house and watched the street. Let's go back home. These holidays are ruined completely for me, Mrs. McDonald said. Just at that moment, when they began to drive, Lucy and Charlie came. Stop, stop, Lucy called. Stop, hold on, hold on. But neither Mrs. McDonald nor Lionel heard her.
So now there's just another adventure scene where they keep going on, and they're in a field, so they can't eat any meat, so they have to eat carrots with this bunny. It sounds more entertaining than it is. And Charlie says, I've had worst food before. It's fine.
Not so bad. I've had worse food other times, he said.
Had enough to eat? Around this time, nobody comes here.
Yet, before Lucy and Charlie could say thank you, the bunny lolloped away.
The bunny's just like you think there's about to be another plot with this bunny, because he says, oh, around this time, no one comes around here. But then he immediately gets up and lollops away. The whole thing's just evolving. Like, now they're adventuring some more, and she wants food, and she's like, I want something delicious to eat. And Charlie wisely says,
nothing comes without doing something, the tomcat said.
She straight up thinks the word is Topcat. The squirrel makes him go to an Italian restaurant to get meat leftovers. Like, the whole thing is just, they don't care anymore at this point. Wait, what? Wait, who's Mario's little racist caricature sidekick who's small as heck? The only character, besides the weird animals in the beginning, with like a strong voice from the narrator is Mario.
Hurry up, Lucy, we have to leave, Charlie called. No, Mario stopped them. I love cats. Are you hungry? What would you like to eat? I have a wonderful tuna pizza. Tuna pizza? If I could walk back home to San Francisco with any blisters on my feet, I will be the happiest cat in the world. You want to go to San Francisco, Mario asked. No problem. Down in the harbor, every ship goes to San Francisco.
The last part of the accent turns from Italian to, like, Irish. weirdly Indian.
And the captain doesn't look for stowaways? Charlie asked with doubt. No, no, no. Has more important things to do. Believe me, it's easy.
So then, of course, Mario tells Lucy and Charlie that there's a boat to San Francisco that leaves all the time because he loves cats, and he gave him a tuna pizza. It got real Lady and the Tramp.
For many days, Mrs. McDonald, Laureen, and Lionel sat sadly in the living room. Oh, I don't feel like greeting visitors. Laureen, please go and tell them I don't feel well.
Lady McDonald or whatever is too sad to welcome company, so she just sends Laureen to the door. She sends her cat to go get it.
We don't want to buy anything, Laureen said when she saw two neglected street cats.
Lucy and Lionel. But it's not a joyful reunion. This isn't quite the end of the movie because first, I'm messing up the names. Laureen finds them and thinks that they're like homeless cats, and she's like, I don't want to buy anything. So she clearly hasn't learned anything from this. She's still really classist and doesn't recognize her own child.
Lucy! Lionel called happily. Mom, it's definitely Lucy! Now Laureen recognized Lucy too and was beaming with happiness.
So when they finally get recognized, they get brought into the house. And Lorraine, the mom...
In some ways, he reminds me of Lucy's father, Laureen whispered to Mrs. McDonald. I think if he washes himself, he will look very handsome.
I was thinking they switched it up on us and had him now be the daughter's lover. And it kind of made sense because it looked in some of the animation like he was small, even though he wasn't animated with the big head like the kittens. But no, no, now the mom thinks he's hot too. So Nice Cats 2 is Battle for Charlie. But maybe not, because as Charlie says,
well, I would like to get to know your family for a few days and then we'll see, said Charlie with restraint.
Isn't that how all great romances end? So that's it. That's that. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I saw this movie once before, and I think I fell asleep during it because I remember it being like, it was kind of funny, like it was bad, but I don't remember it not having a plot. Like, it's just the basic premise of the Aristocats in that a cat has to find their way home, but then it's just a lot of walking, adventure, and then it ends in a strange love triangle. Because Charlie reminds Lorraine of her ex-husband, she thinks he's into her, or she's into him. Meanwhile, he's been flirting with the daughter, and she looks amorously at him. That's the last line. Also, what gets me is the aristocratic notion of the whole thing. Like, I don't know. I guess in the original one, the plot is like, you don't have to be an Aristocat to be a good person, because Thomas O'Malley, he is not a well-to-do cat, but he helps them out, and they learn that's okay, and they welcome him into their family. So I think that's the point. But the point of this one is really unclear, because it's like, only good cats get kidnapped by the catnapper. But then it's like, no, every cat gets kidnapped by the catnapper, but the good ones just get adopted and the bad ones go to a lab to get animal tested on. So it's kind of like, oh, being rich is just a good thing. And then Charlie helps her, but then when they get back, they're so dirty that the mom thinks they're homeless. And I don't know if the mom ever learned a lesson about how uptight she was, and I guess it's supposed to be that the brother wasn't uptight ever. I don't know. I think I'm reading a lot into this when I think what it was just 25 minutes of let's put these cat animations in something. So whether you hate Dingo Pictures or you secretly love Dingo Pictures, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Go have some fun, nice cats.